Hello and welcome everybody to another Aetherdrift draft video. I am Paul Cheon and today we are in the early access event. This is draft number 2. Now the first draft may not have gone so well, but you know what? We are still exploring the format and I'm really excited to get into this and draft all the archetypes if possible, or try to draft as many archetypes as possible. We've already drafted the red-white aggro speed deck. Let's see what we can draft in this video. Now, before we head into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Booster boxes. Let's say you want to purchase some booster boxes of Aetherdrift. Well, guess what? If you click that affiliate link in the description below, that'll take you straight to purchasing some sealed product of Aetherdrift, so go get that now. Additionally, go to heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, dice boxes, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon to get 10% off your first order. Also, they're going to have a presence at MagicCon Chicago, so swing by their booth, say hi, tell them Paul sent you, and you'll get 10% off your first order. All right, here we go. Oh, just wanted to let you know that I have graded all the cards. I have card rankings for everything in Aetherdrift. All you need to do is click the Patreon link in the description below. Join. You can even join for free, and you will have access to all of my card rankings, which I will update as we go along. All right, let us head into this draft. Quag Feast, 2 mana. This is a decent removal spell. You basically mill 2 cards, and then you can kill something that costs at least 2, but possibly even more. So a solid removal spell with self-mill attached to it. Molt's Tender is a slow way to mill yourself and also ramp yourself, which is pretty nice. Not insane because you just can't get the mana right away, but still a decent card as well. For uncommons here, I really like Guidelight Pathmaker, and I'm really interested in drafting the artifact deck, so maybe we can take something like this. This is a 6-mana, 6/5 vehicle. When it enters, you can search your library for an artifact card and reveal it. If you find something cheap, you can put it immediately into play. Otherwise, you put it into your hand. So it's a nice way to get value, and if you find a cheap artifact creature or a pilot or something to crew, you can get some good value out of there. The commons actually look kind of underwhelming here. So I'm kind of looking at this or the Quag Feast. And I kind of want to draft the artifact deck. So I'm going to take the Pathmaker. I think you can certainly make the case for taking Quag Feast as just a very, very solid removal spell to just put into your deck. But let's take the Pathmaker here. Hey, and now we have 2 really, really interesting cards here. Sundial, Dawn Tyrant, full stop, 2 mana, 3/3 artifact creature. Blocks everything, really, really solid. Transit Mage, I absolutely love, especially if you're going to be the artifact deck. 3 mana for a 2/2. When it enters, you can search your library for a 4 or 5 mana artifact. Namely, I can't get this Guidelight Pathmaker, but you can get a 4 or 5 mana card, so it just gives you a ton of value. And if I do want to start my draft out with blue-white, that can certainly be a consideration. There's also Ride's End, which is a really, really good interactive spell. 2 mana just to kill anything. So 2 mana for a 3/3 artifact creature, that seems really strong, but I think the Transit Mage actually could just be better. Just the fact that, you know, there's going to be other 2 mana artifact cards that I can take that can block reasonably well, but this one is more unique. And let's just try to take this and go full. Let's see what a full blue-white artifact value deck looks like here and start with these 2 here. Moving on, we have Skystreak Engineer, which is just fine. There is a Ride's End, which is a really, really good removal spell, and a Diversion Unit, which is also a really, really good artifact creature. And, you know, I really like Ride's End. I think it's premium. I think it's probably the best white common in the set. But Diversion Unit also seems awesome here. This is a 2 mana, 2/1 artifact creature with flying. You can sack it to counter something, an instant or sorcery. And notably, it is a cheap artifact that you can also get with the Pathmaker. So what I can do is go turn 6, play the Pathmaker, and put a 2/1 flyer into play. That seems really, really strong. So I'm going to take the Diversion Unit and focus on the synergies here and try to prioritize... try to prioritize interaction a little bit later. Wow, that was really difficult. All right, that's another Pathmaker. It's expensive, I know, but I think it's a really expensive. I think it's worth ramping into. Trip Up is a fine interactive spell. Rocketeer Boost Buggy is fantastic. We already passed one of these. If you wanted to be the red-green exhaust deck, this card is awesome. You play this on turn 2. On turn 3, you exhaust it. It just becomes a 4/3 creature on turn 3. Imagine on the play. It's going to be really hard to block, and you get a treasure token. I also love Pothole Mole as a nice value card in the green decks as well. So certainly seeing some red and green cards, but I'm going to take the Pathmaker here. And now I know that my top end is basically rock solid here. It is covered with the Guidelight Pathmaker ×2. And now we can just use this to fetch any number of artifacts in our deck. All right, here we have Ketramos. Whenever one or more cards are put into exile from graveyard, you draw a card. Okay, so this is... What's funny is this looks like it should be a black or green card, but certainly not needed here. This is unplayable and constructed, or limited. Gearseeker Serpent, Hole Drifter, or Broadcast Rambler. That's what I'm considering here. You know what's funny? As interesting as this card seems, I think this is a much better blocker on turn 5. You play this on turn 5 and you get a 1/1 and a 5/4 blocker. I'm sad, but I do think I like the Rambler more than the Hole Drifter. I already have just a really solid way to win the game in the late game in the Guidelight Pathmaker, where I'm far more interested in something that can just block when I play it. Moving on here, we have Sabotage Strategist. 4 mana for a 2/2 flying vigilance creature. Whenever one or more creatures attack you, those creatures get -1, -0 until end of turn. Seems okay. Camera Launcher, 3 mana. Okay, so the only issue with this card is the fact that it's a 2/2 body for 3 mana. That's really, really weak. So I don't think I'm super interested in that. Gearseeker Serpent is interesting just because it has affinity for artifacts. But you know what? I'm just going to take the Sabotage Strategist. It's really interesting of a card, and certainly something that if I need playables, I want to try this out and see how it actually plays out. It looks kind of weak. It is a nice mana sink in the late game, though. Oh my gosh, that is a really late Spire mech cycle. Kind of wish I was red-green. This card, oh, Molt Tender as well, so a nice mana card as well. But this card is nice. 5 mana for a 5/4 haste creature. I guess I could potentially go blue-red. Tap another mount or vehicle you control. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on it for each mount and or vehicle you control. So really interesting card, but I really like Spectral Interference, and we really need cheap plays. And the fact that this counters artifacts and creature spells, this just counters a lot of the things that you want. And blue-white typically looks like it's going to want to be more of a controlling deck. So I will take this Spectral Interference and see how this goes. Here we have Starting Column. It is a mana ramp card that acts as an artifact, which is good with some of the synergies that you want in blue-white. And then once you hit max speed, which is kind of hard to hit, admittedly, you can actually cash this in to draw 2 and discard 1. It's either that or Scoured Barrens, but I don't think I want to splash black in any way. Let's just take the Manolith because this is also an artifact that helps us splash if we need. Moving on to pick 1, pack 9. This is actually interesting. We have a couple of options. There's Voyager Quickwelder, which is a 3 mana 2/4 that helps you ramp into expensive artifacts. And we do have a good number of artifacts to pick up, but I think it's more important to pick up solid 2 mana blockers. So I'm going to take the Midnight Mangler. This is really nice, especially with the Guidelight Pathmaker. If you're behind on board, I can just put Midnight Mangler or Diversion Unit into play as a great blocker. And if not, then I can just go fetch a more expensive artifact and put that into my hand for value later in the game. Here, there's a Swiftwater Cliffs, if I wanted to play blue-red potentially, or a Skystreak Engineer. I'm not super impressed with this card, especially in blue-white. It just seems like a filler-level card, but I guess I'll just take it just in case I need more 2s. I mean, it's a fine card to play if you are blue-red. Here, I'll take a Skybox Fairy. This card is very, very bad. 5 mana for a 4/4 flying vehicle. I mean, 5 mana for a 4/4 flyer full stop is barely playable, so I don't think that's something that I'd be too interested in playing. Noting that we're not seeing a whole lot of white, but I'm hoping that getting the Guidelight Pathmaker was a sign that at least blue-white is something that I could be interested in doing. I'm never taking Brightfield Glider in this deck. Let's take an Engine Rat. There is another Skybox Fairy. Yeah, we're not playing those. And okay, well, blue certainly felt open. Not sure about the white to go with the blue, though. River Churn Monument, 2 mana for a Millstone. It's a strictly better Millstone. 2 mana, 1 tap. Each player can mill 2 cards. Exhaust and then any number of target players, each mill cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. So this could be a nice finisher. There's another Transit Mage, which I really, really like. There's a Market Back Walker. I don't think this card's particularly strong, though. Like, for 4 mana, you get a 2/2, and then when it dies, you draw 2 cards. For 6 mana, you draw 3 cards. There's Lifecraft Engine, which is nice as an artifact that pumps your team, but like I don't know. I have a wide mix of types of creatures, so I don't even know how good this card is in general. It's just another vehicle. I think I'm just going to take another Transit Mage, honestly. I think this, and then I just make sure that I have enough 4 and 5 mana artifacts, and that is just another great way to get value. Double Transit Mage, double Guidelight Pathmaker with a bunch of 4 and 5 mana artifacts to get. I'll just never ever run out of things to do. And oh my gosh, this card's got to be awesome. It's a blue-white rare. Mendicant Core, Guidelight. Blue and a white for an X3. Its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Start your engines. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 1. If you do, copy it. Oh my gosh, this card's ridiculous in my deck. I can even search for it with Guidelight Pathmaker. That is awesome. Oh my gosh, that is incredible. Very, very happy with that. Lightning Strike, great removal spell. Probably one of the best commons in the set. Legorin, awesome, awesome signpost uncommon. If I'm green-white mounts, this card is fantastic. And then Gastel Thrill Seeker's also ridiculous. Black-red for a 2/3, already good. Start your engines, and then when it comes into play, it pings your opponent for 1. So you immediately start at speed 2 when you play the Thrill Seeker. But of course, we also got a fantastic card here in the Mendicant Core. All right, what do we have? Give me all the blue and white stuff. Give me all the blue and white stuff. I don't like Stall Out. This is just, I guess it's okay if you draft a tempo deck, but not interested in that. Bunch of green and black cards. Glitch Ghost Surveyor. Not really what I want here. Blue-white typically is not a start your engines kind of beatdown deck generally. I think I'm just going to take another Rambler just to make sure that I have enough targets with the Transit Mage. Would really love 4 mana artifacts, but I will note there's not a ton of them in this format. Given that we have a couple of Ramblers and the Guidelight Pathmakers now, I am also interested in the 3 mana 2/4 artifact that makes things cheaper to cast. I think that would be a nice inclusion into our deck. Wow, that is another Guidelight Pathmaker. Noting that there's a run over, best green common in the set. Really, I mean, it's just a strictly better bite down. Very, very good. Nimble Thopterist is also quite nice, and I don't have any 4s. Honestly, I think 2 6s is enough. This card is good, but I think I'm just going to take Nimble Thopterist for the sake of my mana curve, just to have something solid to do on turn 4. I do like this card a fair amount. And now what do we have? Another Nimble Thopterist, which is totally fine. No 4 mana artifacts. There is a Collision Course, which can be interesting as an interactive spell. There's also Mindspring Merfolk. Is this card good? Blue for a 1/1. Blue, X, exhaust, draw X cards. I just feel like I have enough to do with my mana where I'm not super interested in this, right? Like 5 mana to draw 3 cards. And then this becomes a 2/2. Yeah, I just don't really care for that much. And I don't think I care too much for Air Response Unit either. I think I'm just going to take another Nimble Thopterist. This just lets you go wide. And I think it's just better than the Sabotage Strategist, to be honest. So let's go ahead and take that. Anything that puts artifacts into play, I'm pretty happy with. Howler's Heavy is quite bad. One of the worst blue commons, probably. 4 mana for a 3/4, which is a terrible body. You only play this if you want to cycle and get the -3/-0 effect. Gallant Strike is an interesting removal spell. And it would be one of our first interactive spells. But given that I have double Rambler and double Pathmaker, and I kind of want 3s, I'm just going to try this Quick Welder here and see how it plays out. It's a great blocker, and it ramps me into some of my expensive cards here. Here we have, I love Stampeding Scurryfoot. I think this might be the second best green common. This card's awesome. 1 mana for a 1/1, exhaust 4, put a +1/+1 counter and make a 3/3. So for 4 mana, on turn 4, you can make a 2/2 and a 3/3, which is great. Nothing here for us. I don't really want to play 3 colors in this deck, even though Ranger's Aether Hive is good. I think I'll just take Country Roads, but I don't really love this card. It's just, you sack it to make a 1/1. That's it. I don't love that card very much in general. I'll take another Spectral Interference, though. I do think this card is great and a nice 2 mana play in these artifact decks. And, well, the Millstone Table. Should I give it a shot? Well, I know what all of you are going to say. Obviously, yes. Hazard of the Dunes. Wow, green is super open. This is not really a Lotus Guard Disciple deck. I'll take this. No guarantees I'm going to play it, though. I can search for it, though, which is cool. I'll take Gearseeker Serpent here. If I have enough artifacts and I need filler, it's certainly something that I can choose to play. Yeah, literally nobody interested in green. I mean, to be fair, white's not super open either, but... Hey, we got Mendicant passed to us. This is still fine. this is still fine. We need more defensive cards if we want to win with Riverchurn Monument. I just don't know if the format's slow enough for it. All right, what do we have? Far Fortune, End Boss, 4 mana for a 4/5. Start your engines. When you attack, this deals 1 damage to each opponent, which helps you get to max speed. Once you're at max speed, if a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or permanent, it deals that much damage plus 1 instead. Okay, well, obviously we can't take it, but that is an interesting card. How is there no great blue or white card in this pack for us? There's a Racer Scoreboard. That's a 4 mana card I can get with Transit Mage. Road Rage is a fantastic removal spell. There's Interface Ace, which lets me mount things, but I don't really care about that. Oh, gosh. Spectral Engine? Do I want that? Over the Interference? You know what? I actually don't think this card's very good. I'm going to take another. I'm just going to take the Interference just to make sure that I have enough things to do early. My late game is so strong with double Transit Mage, some 5-drops, and Pathmakers, where I do think the counterspell is going to be quite good in my deck. Here, I will take Trip Up, which is just a really good interactive spell, and my deck literally has no interaction right now. So picking up the first copy of this is very much something I'm interested in. Repurposing Ray, 3 mana. 2, sack another artifact, search your library with an artifact with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice. Okay, so it's like a birthing pod. It's like a birthing pod for artifacts, which I don't really care for. Embalmed Descendant is fantastic. Fang Druid Summoner is solid. I don't really care for Trade the Helm either. Do I take the Guidelight Optimizer here or the blue-white land? I'm going to take the blue-white land here. I feel like we're going to have enough playables where picking up the first blue-white land is pretty nice to have here. Moving on to pack 4, Kael'Orna blocks everything. I don't think I care about that, though. Another Lagoran. But I think I'm going to take Bounce Off. Another just good interactive spell. So we have a Trip Up and a Bounce Off as well. So very, very happy with that. And then now we have another Transit Mage. Look, I'm kind of low on 3s. Boom Scholar is also really good. Oh man, Red-Green Exhaust is looking good. There's also a Trip Up here, but hey, I'll take another Transit Mage. But noting that now I would like another card to get if possible. Okay. This is interesting. There's Stock Up and Hull Drifter. This card just seems way, way better. Look at this card. Look at the top. For 3 mana, you get to look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Now, I know I have a Hull Drifter, but I already have 2 5s and 2 6s. I'm more interested in the Stock Up as a card draw spell. This card's awesome. Here we have another Bounce Off. I think I have enough 2 mana plays. I do like Midnight Mangler a decent amount, just as a good blocker. But I do feel like just having more cheap things to play while I try to play my expensive cards is pretty important. So let's go ahead and take the Bounce Off here. Voyager Quick Welder tabled, so pretty happy about that. Don't really care about Guidelight Matrix that much. This does help us ramp into our expensive cards here. Do I play this card? God, I feel like this card's so bad. But with 3 Transit Mage, I almost want to take it. Like, I'm not going to play the mechanic. I'll put it here on the side as a consideration. Maybe the Pathmaker will table. Right now we have... we just have a lot of good things to get with it already. Air Response Unit. Do I want this? I don't think I want Camera Launcher or the Skybox Fairy. Portable Pothole Mole this late. Green was super duper open. All right, Repurposing Ray. I can sack this to go fetch this, but I still don't think this is that good. I'll take a Scrap Compactor and maybe I'll play it just because it's a cheap artifact. There's a Kael'Orna, which I'm not super interested in playing. Wow, Boom Scholar last pick. Okay, okay. All right, it is what it is. 44 cards, and let's get the... Here, let's just put all of this in for now and just kind of see where we're at here. But we're going to have to cut a good number of cards here, of course. This does block everything. Let's cut it for now. Riverchurn Monument goes into the maybe pile. These are the 2s that I like playing. So I think these are the ones that I'm locked in on. 3 2-mana plays, but we do have 3 Spectral Interference as well. Daring Mechanic seems pretty bad. Air response unit goes in the maybe stack. Starting column does... I mean, it ramps me, but I'd much rather play the quick welder here than the starting column. This also goes in the maybe stack. This also goes in the maybe stack. And so does that. Okay, so we still need to cut 5 cards here. I do like everything that I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. I'm not sure about this either. 20, 21. So we just need to play 2 of the cards here on the right. And then this one comes into play untapped if I have a mount or a vehicle. And then it just sacrifices to make a pilot. Now, we do have some crew stuff. We have 12 creatures here. Now, noting that this at least makes 2 creatures as well. All right, I'll play the Scrap Compactor because I'm really low on interaction. And I can potentially search for it with the Guidelight Pathmaker as well. So let's go ahead and try that. And what does this do? Whenever... I mean, this is a decent defensive card. Okay, you know what? I'm going to try this for science, just because I want to see how it plays out. I don't think I need the engineer. I don't think I need the air response unit. I just don't like vehicles in general. At least with this one, this can kind of block itself, and I can fetch it with the Transit Mage. I don't think I need Gear Seeker Serpent just because I already have just 2 5s and 2 6s in my deck. And then I have 3 3s that finds me the 5 as well. So I just don't think I need another top-end card like that. I really don't think I need the Riverturn Monument. I also don't want to play the Country Roads. I am kind of interested in playing the Racer Scorecard though, just to make sure that I have more things to get with the Transit Mage. All right, so if I play the Scorecard, I do need to cut something. And maybe it is the Strategist, just so that I can basically play as many artifacts as possible, just to make sure I don't have a shortage of things to play. This does cost double blue. And I like all the other cards on curve. This is super fragile too, but it is a nice way to win in the late game. But I feel like these vehicles are going to be pretty good at helping me close out games. Yeah, and the exhaust cost is just way too expensive. All right, let's try this. I'm just trying to be as artifact-centric as possible here. Now, this wasn't super open, but I still feel like we have a decent combination of artifacts here. Let's see how this one plays out. All right, now before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying all of this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons here. Really do appreciate your support. It means a lot. And I really would not be able to make all of this content without all of your support. So thank you so much. Access to the Patreon will give you access to my Discord channel. Lots of buzz about Aetherdrift limited content. There's just channels for everything, for trophy picks, what's the pick, draft logs, all kinds of great stuff. There's even a channel for bad beats, so you can complain. Additionally, if you join the Patreon, even the free mode of the Patreon, I did post all my card rankings for the set. So just join the Patreon, link in the description below. All right, opponent on the play here. Our hand is okay. We do have the Mangler here on turn 2 with the Quick Welder and the Racer's Scorecard. Let's give this a go. Bloodghast, how dare you? I'm glad I took this Mangler. This thing blocks really well. I feel like this could be an okay card. You know, honestly, 4 toughness is a really good size in this format because 4 toughness is a really good size in this format because they probably shouldn't have played the land. Does it put into play? Yeah, they shouldn't have played a land. Anyways, just because there's Lightning Strike and a bunch of 3/1s that exist in this format. Stampeding Scurryfoot is fantastic. Let us play the Quick Welder here. All right, well, it comes into play now. I can block the Scurryfoot, though. Yep. Main phase, really good call out there, or a really good decision there, because I can have an instant speed removal spell in response to potentially blow them out there. Not interested in playing Racer Scorecard right now. Let's just play Nimble Thopterist. Just add to the board so we don't get run over. Just playing the late game here, and then we can play the Guidelight Pathmaker here. Getting our Mendicant. No! Not cool. Not cool. All right, we are at 16. Oh, that slowed us down. Not cool at all. All right, we're just going to play this just because it's a pretty good blocker. And let's attack for 1. Just because it's not really going to block anything. Like, you really don't want to trade with a Bloodghast. You just want to have a creature to block in general. This is a free roll for them, even if they don't have a Grim Bauble, just because it comes back into play. Wreckage, Wickerfolk. Okay, solid card. 2 mana, 1/3 flyer, Surveil 2. I do like that card. All right, we get the Guidelight Pathmaker here now, which is good. Can't attack because they have a 1/3 flyer. +6/5 Vigilance. Let me read what the Mendicant does again, by the way. I just gotta figure it out. Okay, let's see. Oh, I can get another Pathmaker. Get the chain going. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, what do you do? Oh yeah, this card's awesome. Let's get that. No attacks and pass. Looks like they're going to surveil here. Hopefully they don't find a way to kill Mendicant Core. So let's see. Whenever you cast artifacts, you may pay... So if I play the scorecard, I copy it? Is that what happens? Crypt Caller... Oh, this card's ridiculous. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, create that many tap 2/2 zombie tokens, and it's just a giant menacing vehicle. Okay, well, let's see how this... I'm going to full control this just because I'm not entirely sure how this works. Oh, it's a max speed effect. Ah, of course. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that would be way too broken if it wasn't. Okay. Discard a land. Play the land for trip up. And we have Spectral Interference available as well. 5/3... doesn't attack super well. I can attack with this, and it would trade with Crypt Caller Chariot. Is that something I'm interested in? It doesn't seem bad. Trading with... This is a very scary card to deal with. And it's got Vigilance. Okay. All right, so that trade happened. We have Spectral Interference, which cannot counter that. That's really, really good. So they have to. They can only get from one of the cards that they made. Oh my gosh, Aganosaur Rex. Was that a good find? Was that a good find? I'm gonna go with yes. Well, that is highly unfortunate. So this is a 4/3, so they can double block here. So I just don't have a fantastic attack here. Let's play our gain land. And, you know, I thought I would have run out of things to do with my mana, but I kind of am. Transit Mage 1 time. How do you not have 2 forests at this point? I guess they milled all of them. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forests. Beast Rider Vanguard is actually really annoying on this board. Wow, okay. So I need to get something going here. Okay, they have a Foul Roads going too, which doesn't really matter. Stock Up was a fantastic find. Let's go ahead and play that. Okay, so let's go Pathmaker and Transit Mage. Love that. And now what? I want to keep up the interference in case they just play this thing. So let's play the Transit Mage. Let's go get a Rambler. Just get things going there. All right. I'm liking our setup here. I am liking our setup a lot. How many rares do you have, Philippa? Stop it! Enters or attacks. You can search your library for a basic land card. And then, okay, well, you know what? No. No. The answer is no. Okay, we drew the other counter spell, so that's fantastic for us. That 1/3 flyer is just really cramping my style, though, I will say. I have 8 mana. Alright, let's just play another Pathmaker. I don't want to get the Rambler because I have 2 Transit Mages in my deck. So I want to get one of these 2 cards. Honestly, I'm just going to get the Scrap Compactor. Just because this can just kill something. But we'll just wait this turn. We'll keep up Spectral Interference in case they draw Forest. And and this does technically kill anything, right? And we're kind of at that point in the game, so. I will get in with the Pathmaker here. And I think I want to save the Compactor. Let's attack with this. I'm keeping Mendicant Core back. If they cycle the Aganosaurus Rex, then I can just bounce the creature, right? So that's something I can do. If they want to go for some kind of crazy block. Trample and Indestructible until end of turn. Oh, wait, I can just kill it with the Compactor. Do I want to do that? Yeah, let's do that. That card is kind of annoying. And I still have Trip Up and Interference. So they cycled. I get to hit them for 6. Which is great. Speed up to 2. Then we can play Broadcast Rambler. And yeah, I mean, this is all looking great. All looking great. Still have Spectral Interference, which right now is still a pretty good counterspell effect. They have no exhaust abilities here for Pit Automaton. And they just don't have good attacks. Okay, another land here, but still not running out of things to do. And you know what? This format could be a grindy format. Or grindier than it might seem, just because... Like, these games have been going kind of long. I don't want to get this flyer out of the way. I'd rather just attack with monsters and just kind of put them into tough spots. I want to keep this around just because I want to live the dream with the max speed, okay? That's what I want to do. That's how I'd like to live my life. I don't know about you. All right, we're on 3. One more for maximum speed here. We have Trip Up and Spectral Interference. And that's how good this is. 4 is so big. It basically just counters whatever you want. It's just so hard to deal with. Another island here. Same attacks. Crew 2. I like this because it's just Crew 1. Actually, now I should probably just attack with this, because this will guaranteed trade with 2 things. I don't know why I wasn't doing it before. Call me a silly goose. Because if they double block that, they have to chump. They take 11 here. Oh, they must have a removal spell. Maybe I should have attacked with the other creatures. Run over. What? It deals 2 damage? Okay. Oh, it's another run over? Alright, and then we just bounce this. Alrighty. Wow. So much value, this deck. The Transit Mage, Guylite Pathmaker. I just feel like it's just inevitability. You just always have stuff to do with your mana. Far more than some of the other color combinations. Now, Exhaust exists as well. Just noting that when I drafted that red-white deck yesterday, it felt pretty bad. Just because there wasn't any scrying. Like, I just kind of ran out of gas. And my opponents didn't. Oh, playing against Nitsahan. Definitely check out his content. He makes a lot of great top 10 videos and limited videos as well. Especially the videos that he makes prior to each set. I'm just so much worse at that because production value is not necessarily my skill, and Nitsahan does a really good job of kind of distilling the important information for upcoming limited sets and distilling it down to something that's digestible for everybody. And so definitely recommend checking him out. But that doesn't mean I don't want to give him the beatdowns here. Beatdowns. All right, transit me. Oh, wait just a second. Let's play that instead. Can't lightning strike this one. What is this? Oh, 6/6 reach, okay. Yeah, the only issue with my deck is just no removal. I had some options early to take it, but I didn't get one, so. Wow, they missed! And oh my gosh, they milled Aganosaur Rex and Rocketeer Boost Buggy. We gotta hit them with, oh, I can't hit them with the Sorry. Oh well. Alright, let's play the Thopterist here. Get a flyer going. Next turn, play the Transit Mage, go get one of our 5/4s. I will say, these bounce spells, really nice against Exhaust. Too bad the Transit Mage can't get the 6 mana card that I have. I forgot the name. You know, the 6 mana Signpost uncommon? That would be awesome. Oh, just a pass. Well, I will play this free spell. I mean, with the Scrap Compactor in play and Bounce Off, it's just hard to imagine this going poorly for me. Burner Rocket. Ooh, I see. Yeah, and bouncing the Pothole Mole is not particularly exciting. Oh, this is not ideal. The problem is if I kill it, I just don't do anything this turn, which seems quite bad. Yeah, maybe this was not a great attack because of the rocket. I'll just let my creature die. I don't know if that was correct. I feel like I want to keep the bounce off for something else. Oh, it's a bite down too? Holy cow. Okay. Oh, lightning strike? Yeah, okay. That was a really good turn for them. Really good turn. See, I should have known. They just kept up all that mana. What was I thinking, man? What was I thinking? That they just had absolutely nothing there? Doesn't make any sense. Thunderhead Gunner, sure. All right, we're going to bounce that just as a good tempo play here. Just because I don't have the mana to play this and the bounce spell. Because I foolishly lost my 2/4 for nothing. I mean, if they play the 5-drop again, that was their best play last turn, but they did get to Rummage. Oh, that card's phenomenal. Okay. Spectral Interference, and, you know, that's That's not great. That is not great at all. What do I want to do now? They can crew, and then I can crew my thing, and then just, you know, it doesn't really put us in a great spot. Keeping up the interference here does seem pretty good, though, for the Thunderhead Gunner. And if they don't do anything, I can always scrap compactor them and kill one of the 3/3s. Like, killing one of the 3/3s and casting Spectral Interference seems fine. Big beefy monsters. Okay, let's counter that. So if they did this, they're going to have to tap down their whole squad. But if they have anything here, it's such a blowout. Like if they have a combat trick here for 2 mana, like the Spider Silk card or whatever, or the First Strike card, that would be really bad for us. Yeah, the mammoth is very, very nice. Okay. Okay. Just a couple of elephants. Nothing to see here. Let's kill this one. Use our mana. Not get totally run over. Guidelight Pathmaker sure would be nice if I had my 3 mana 2/4 in play. Play the Thopterist. Getting the Mendicant here is going to be pretty nice. It's going to be pretty large. 2 cards in hand for the opponent. Nothing. Okay, another Pathmaker. That is not ideal. No great attacks here, so we're just going to go to the skies here. How do I have 3 Thopters? And let's play the scoreboard. Scoreboard. And, oof. Oh, I should have played that first. Whoops. Things you learn. I'm discarding the land still. Look, if I don't... These are the only 6-drops in my deck. If I draw a land, yeah, I can play it. If not, I still have stuff to do. So, that's my logic. Like, whereas if this game does happen to randomly go long, then I get destroyed with these Pathmakers. And the engines have been started. This doesn't have trample, fortunately. I will block with a Transit Mage. Honestly... Oh, okay, they can do that, sure. This thing has reach. That's actually really annoying. I can bounce it, but it does feel better to just play a Pathmaker here. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Take action, and wow, we have a lot of good options, but can't imagine many being better than... God, I should be at 2... I should be at 2 speed. That is sad. Alright, this is still fine. Everything is fine. What am I doing? Why am I attacking with this? What am I doing? I'm just not even using my brain. What the hell am I doing? Oh, Paul! What? What the hell am I doing? I am playing so bad. Why did I attack with the 3/2? Oh god, that's just embarrassing. That is just embarrassing. Whatever. Like, if I'm going to attack with this, like, okay, what I should probably do is just trip up this right away and just attack with everything. That was so stupid on my part. Oh, well. What the hell am I doing? Okay, so this is a 5/5. Oh my. I'm tilted. I am tilted. That was really dumb on my part. What? Why did I leave? Oh, God. What am I doing? I needed to leave up a blue. I needed to leave up a blue. To keep up a counterspell. Whatever. Alright, I'm at 18. This is still fine. I apologize, folks, but you know what? We're learning right now. Okay, we're learning. There's a lot of little sequencing things and keeping up mana stuff that I need to be mindful of, and I just did everything poorly. But you know what? A lot of other people are also making said mistakes. Same mistakes. But unless they find a sweeper, we should be fine. Okay. Oh my gosh, Paul. That is just an embarrassment of sequencing. But we still got the win. Still scoreboard! Scoreboard. Alright, 2-0. Let's keep this going with this really fun blue-white deck. And I'm very impressed with that 2-mana counterspell. 4 is so basically impossible to play around. Okay, we are on the draw. I keep this. I got Spectral Interference and a Midnight Mangler, so perfectly fine way to kind of stall the ground until we get to the late game here. Country Rose from the other 6-drop. Okay, no more expensive cards, please. Green-white mounts, possibly. Spot Sickle. Is it Sickle or Cycle? Play the Mangler. Oh, by the way, we just drew our other 5-drop. Like, this is literally the... Wait, why didn't they crew their thing and attack me? Oh, because they don't want to trade with my Mangler? This is literally the worst common... Like, I drew my 6-drop and one of my 2 5-drops. Now my treasure thing doesn't even do anything. This was terrible. Oh my gosh. At least we drew some lands, okay? That at least helps. But this card can be a problem. Especially if they have a creature here. Which they don't! Wow, they just have all vehicles. Okay. So they can't really attack me. Alright! Well, they're likely going to play something big this turn. Sure. I don't know if that was... Oh my gosh, okay. Bright Glass Gear Hulk. How many 1-drops do they have? They have a Scurryfoot, okay. I mean, this card's just good, right? It's a 4/4 first striking trampler. Yeah. We're gonna be just 0-75,000 against DFT Pro Tour competitors. That's just what's gonna happen. Should I try to race them? I mean, I can't really block this. I can't block anything, really. Lagorin is absurd. Absolutely absurd. All right. Let's play the Pathmaker. Let's get the Mendicant Core into play. We're at 11 life. Let's crew this. I'm at 11. This can block. This can also block. The Pathmaker blocking is really good for us. Okay. Sure. I mean that I don't have any interaction there. It is what it is. Yeah, that's huge, obviously. The fact that this thing has First Strike and Trample is just obnoxious. What am I supposed to do? They have 3 cards in hand? Basically, I can hope that they don't have anything. Like, if they have another trick, it's a disaster. But maybe that's my only hope. Basically, if they attack me with the Gear Hulk, I can crew the Pathmaker and then double block with Mendicant Core and Guidelight Pathmaker. That is an option. Just need a bounce spell for the Gear Hulk. Like, the 1-mana bounce spell would be absurd. I guess I'll just take it. Okay. Scrap Compactor, okay. So they had something, right? Because they could have played this. So that tells me it's even more likely that they have some kind of a trick, which is obviously not ideal for us. Oh, man. I want to play Stock Up to try to find a bounce spell, but I think playing the Pathmaker is just better. And we'll see what they do. A 2-drop comes into play, so let's get the Diversion Unit. And then I'm just going to pass. Yep. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, we have some decent blockers, but this is still a lot. Let's see what they attack with. I still have a fair number of blockers here. So depending on how they attack, I think I can still set up a pretty good block. Scrap Compactor being on the table is obviously awkward. But we can still block in such a way where it'll be okay potentially. Okay, let us crew this. Okay, 6/4. Okay. All right, what are the blocks? We can go 2 here. Can probably go 3 here, actually. So, like, maybe this, and then this. Yep, I like it. Oh, never mind. I don't like it. All right, well, we're still not dead, but obviously this is not, like, the best board here for us at all. Gallant Strike was good, and we still need to find some additional interaction here. This thing is a freaking 5/6 reach First Strike Trample. Are you kidding me? Like, what do I do? I mean, I could theoretically take it, but you know what? I'm just going to play the Rambler and hope for the best. Because I can also just take the damage from everything else and, you know, it's going to be a precarious life total, but I could theoretically go to 1. Collision course, destroy target artifact. Okay. All right, I'm at 1. Man, they just drew all gas. That was really, I mean, that's very, very tough for us. All right, stock up. What can we find? Transit Mage and a Spectral Interference. That is not going to get it done. And sadly, I think this Bright Glass Gearhulk was just far too strong. Like, it's very hard to cast, but when you do cast it, it's super strong. And this is also just an instance where if we had some interaction, like the bounce spells would have worked really, really well here, but we just needed to find some. And I know we spent a lot of time prioritizing synergy cards over interaction, and now I'm kind of regretting it to some degree. All right, on the play here, oh gosh, I'm going to mulligan this. I can only play the Spectral Interference. Definitely keeping this hand. I will bottom a land. We have turn 2 Spectral Interference into turn 3 Transit Mage into... Oh, that is a good card. The Grease Wrench Goblin. All right. It's fine. Let's play Transit Mage. Let's go get the scoreboard. I already have a Rambler, so just looking for something on curve. And this is still a fine card to just block the Grease Wrench Goblin. If I draw a land... Of course I didn't, but if I did, I may have considered using the Scrap Compactor to just kill Boom Scholar. All right, well, given what happened here, like we drew all the Transit Mages, I kind of wish I didn't bottom a land, but, you know, keeping 3 lands there seemed fine, given our hand. Yeah, this is so strong. So strong. Discarding 2 cards. They have a 3/2. Now this is basically a 3-mana 2/2, so it's not particularly strong. Another Boom Scholar? Holy cow. No lands? No lands? Mulligan? Come on. This is not how I want to play this game. This is super not fun. In fact, this is super lame. Oh, gosh. Oh. Like, keeping a 3-land hand on the draw with a Transit Mage and Eraser Scoreboard to get seems totally fine. We just didn't get there. Well, that's a ridiculous card to play. Did you see that? Double Boom Scholar and a Boom Mobile. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, we have nothing else to do there. Drew the, we have an affinity towards drawing our 6-drops. We have the 2 and then the 5s. They just... What is this? Oh yeah, that thing is huge. That's a 7/6, okay. Yep, okay. Well, just, you know. All right, I'm dead. I'm done with this. That is just Arena trolling us. We're just being trolled by Arena. We're good. But Not seeing that much red-white, but that red-green deck certainly looked pretty strong. More stuff to do with your mana, with also the ability to have aggressive starts. That looked like a nice deck. We're, by the way, 0-5 against Pro Tour competitors. Oh, gosh. Oh, just casual 0-5. All right, do we have cards we can cast? We sure do. We sure do. One drop? What? Oh, sure. This card actually seems fine to me. Intimidation Tactics. In a more mid-range deck, like a black-green deck or something like that. Let's play the Scrap Compactor. Oh, you know, I should have led with Island. I don't think it's super relevant, but if I draw a blue-white tap land next turn, I want to be able to keep up bounce off. Deathless Pilot. Certainly not the type of card that I want to kill with the Scrap Compactor. Burnout Bastronaut. 1 mana, 1/1 menace, start your engines. That's good. This is simply just the tempo play here. Looks like they're stuck on 2 lands. All right, get some Nimble Thopterus going. Then we have stock up to refuel. I mean, with the triple transit mages and all that stuff, it's just hard to not run out of gas. I will take the 2 here. You got me. Transit mage. Yeah, that's fine, but I think I just want to play Thopterist here. Here, I will choose actually not to attack, because if they kill my Thopterist, I want to double block and kill the pilot. And if they attack me, I'll just trade with the Thopterist. Mutant Surveyor, sure. Okay, Spectral Interference is actually very interesting. I'm actually going to pass now, because I do have Trip Up plus Spectral Interference. So I want to have that as kind of the thing that I want to be doing. Surveyor is interesting, though. They can't really attack me. Okay, well, I take that back. Oh, I know. We double block here, and then we single block there. There we go. Yeah. So we get the pilot off the battlefield. Their speed is only on 2. They attempt to pump this, and then we just bounce it. They're going to put it on the bottom. We get the pilot off the battlefield, and then now we can stock up, if you will. Actually, no, I'm going to just play the Transit Mage. Add to the board here. Let's go get our 5-drop. Then keep up the interference and attack. Okay, this one's feeling good. Good interaction, adding to the board. Our opponent's also horribly mana screwed, which gives us a shot. Let's counter that. Let's play this. Let's play the land. I don't know that there's a ton of discard effects in this format. Oh, there is. There's a 4-drop, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, they can't attack me. All right, let's play Stock Up. Really great card here. I'm going to get Pathmaker and Transit Mage. Sure. Okay. Let's go Transit Mage. Let's get a Rambler. Now, how aggressively do I want to attack? I certainly want to attack with the Rambler. They're at 12? Yeah, whatever. Take 10. Yeah, I mean, they're at 2 speed, so they can't even go to max speed next turn anyways. And I just want to put maximum pressure here. Like next turn we go Guidelight Pathmaker into... Yeah, okay. I mean, this is honestly just... Look, we lost that last game because we were kind of mana screwed, and the same thing happened to our opponent. But you know what? More importantly, our very first win against a Pro Tour competitor. This is like my record at normal Pro Tours. 1-5. 1-5. All right, on the play here, yeah, this is certainly keepable. Island, 2 planes, some 3 drops, a bounce spell, and a Aetherdrift. Okay. Being on the play, obviously fantastic here. Kickoff Celebration. You know what? That's not too bad. They didn't play a 2-mana creature, so happy enough with that. Wow. Racers Scoreboard. Let's play the Quick Welder here. There's just way more upside. Like, if I draw one of my 5 drops, it's going to be fantastic. If not, so be it. Wow, they discarded Bloodghast? Look at the value. Wreckage Wickerfolk, okay. Spectral Interference. Don't think I can really afford to play that one right now. Let's play the Aetherdrift. So the reason why I'm playing that is, I mean, it just adds a lot to the board. But next turn, I can go scoreboard, try to find a land to still keep up Spectral Interference, which is what I'm somewhat interested in doing here. This is the turn where they can play something big. Oh, that's... Oh, they did get to go up to 2. But noting that I don't think it goes up again when they attack me with this. Also, I think attacking with that is, in general, pretty bad. All right, so let's go ahead and play the Racers Scoreboard to try to find a land here. We found 2 lands. And so both Transit Mages are actually not bad here. So I'm going to keep both and hope I don't draw something. All right, we are on 2, which is good, almost at the top. We have Spectral Interference with double Transit Mage. Basically, over the next 2 turns, I don't want to draw one of my 5 drops. That's basically how this works. I mean, they're just going to hit max speed. I'm just going to assume that that's going to happen. But hey, we're also going to hit max speed, right? So it's not too bad. That card looks pretty embarrassing, so I'm just not going to let it do anything. That card also looks pretty bad. All right, we drew an island here. Wow, they just don't want to let me get to max speed? Okay. Adrenaline Jockey. When you exhaust... Alright, fine, I'll just counter it. Alright, they're at max speed. Carrion Cruiser, that's a good one. You get something back. Oh, wow. Risen Necro Regent. That is incredible. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So if I play this and then the Rambler, it costs 3 mana and I can still bounce. Okay. That's pretty good. So they can crew this, but that's still fine. I just played this for the turn. Let's attack. They can trade that with the Aetherdrift, I guess. Sure. Alright, they're at 12, I'm at 16. Speed's on 3. We are almost maxed out. Not that it really matters. My spells cost 1 less. That's not very strong. Let's full control this. Because they're going to play this and I'm going to want to bounce it. This attack makes absolutely no sense, but I guess they have a land. Okay. They must have a land, right? Like, is your play lightning strike? Yeah, it's... Yeah, okay, okay. Look at that sequencing! Oh my gosh! Alright, we gotta get aggro... Oh, we drew it? Damn it! Oh, man, that's annoying. I guess it's still fine. This is just a 2-2, huh? Do I attack with the Thopter? So they block that and they go to 3. Then they play this and make a token. They have 3 blockers. I'll just attack with these. Okay, they go to 5. Alright, we're on max speed now. So this is cheaper. But the problem is the Transit Mage just doesn't get anything because I drew the Rambler. Oh well. Yep. Oh well. Drawing 2 of our big cards is pretty unfortunate. Like, I expect the 3rd Transit Mage to miss a lot, but was hoping that this wasn't going to happen. But it did. Don't double spell me. Okay, Momentum Breaker. Sure. Okay. They're not going to attack me. Come on, man. I guess they have a land. Oh. Sure. Okay, okay. They are at 5 life. They're at 5 life. We are going to attack with this. We're going to attack with this. So both of these need to get blocked, like here and here. And this eats something. Oh, I shouldn't have done that with this, but... Yep. Yep. All right, they're at 3. They have the Necro Regent, which is looking really strong here. They can also gain a bunch of life with the Momentum Breakers. What the hell is this card? That creature gains haste? What do I have in my yard? Oh, they get to get a Thopter back? That's not bad. Wow. Yeah, I think they're gonna stabilize, sadly. This card doesn't look all that exciting, but the Necro Regent is the real deal. This is definitely much better than I thought. And this has Menace and Death Touch. Okay. Golly. Okay. So just attacking with both of the Ramblers. Gearhulk blocks. Token blocks. Okay. Needed to draw one of our 6-mana artifacts. Now is the time where I need one. And they're using this to gain a bunch of life. Alright. They are, yeah, start your engines kind of more mid-rangey, control-y, that. And it's definitely working out for them. Gastel Raider, sure. It's gonna miss. But it's a 3-2 with Menace. I'm at 13, so that doesn't have haste. Spire, Mech Cycle, very good card as well. Haste. Crew, okay. Yeah, this Necro Regent was just gaseous. Gaseous. Wait, did they... This looks a little bit aggressive. Alright, but we drew some lands. Alright, well, that's gonna do it here, folks. Necro Regent, real deal. And it looks like max speed is something that certainly happens a fair amount of the time. And you don't necessarily have to be super duper aggro. There's plenty of ways to just hit people with evasive creatures. And then getting bonuses like that and the reach creature are really, really strong. So, hey, at least we did better than the last time around. I actually thought this deck was okay, but definitely big thing that I was missing in this deck was just interaction, right? I just, white does have the removal spell, the destroy target tap creature, which I think I'm supposed to take super duper highly. And I had the 2 bounce offs and the trip up. The compactor is not so good. Pretty impressed with spectral interference overall, although it's somewhat easy to play around. So it's pretty important to just make sure that you have other instants to cast or things to do with spectral interference. Notably, if you have exhaust cards, that goes really, really well. Guidelight Pathmakers with some number of targets seemed really, really strong, especially having 2-mana creatures to get was really, really great. So this getting obviously Mendicant or Diversion Unit or Midnight Mangler, all things that I'm really, really interested in doing. So I like that. I also like the Transit Mage. Maybe I should have taken a Hull Drifter or something, but I do think this card was also quite solid. And the Quick Welder, also just a 2/4 body in this format seems really solid. And then if you can just ramp into some of these other vehicles, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's great, but I feel like it's better than cards like this that we've seen in the past, right? Just because it's the sizing does seem to line up pretty well with a lot of what other people are looking to do. And yeah, I mean, this deck overall performed reasonably well and just needed some removal. That's it. And it would have done a little bit better. But you know what? 1-3 first time, 3-3 this time. What's going to happen the next time? 5-3. Of course, that's just math. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I've been having a ton of fun so far drafting Aetherdrift. I really do appreciate all of you tuning in. If you enjoyed all this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, I have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. All my card rankings are up on my Patreon channel. So click that link in the description below to make sure you get a leg up and get at least a baseline rating on all the cards in the format. Additionally, check out TCGplayer.com for all things Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product related. If you want to purchase some booster boxes of Aetherdrift, you can go to TCGplayer.com, click that affiliate link in the description below, and it'll take you straight there. Last but not least, check out heavyplay.com for all your Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories needs. heavyplay.com/paulcheon will get you 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.